Greetings, everyone. It seems my chicks have successfully delivered you to your trial room.
If it's the last time I'm gonna go through another portal again, honestly, I think I had enough. Yeah, if you could have picked a less dizzying method to do this, probably would have been preferred.
On the bright side, we all teleported into our own seats. What a miracle. It's all part of Father's new magic, isn't that right? Right you are, Ram. Now then, all of you are here because one of you has perished under the motive and the killing game itself. That person in question, of course, is Dimentio, the ultimate puppeteer. His body was found in a unique manner, hanging along the balcony railing and pierced through the stomach. Unfortunately, it was one of you who killed him, and it's your job to figure out the who, what, when, where, and how of this murder case.
So we're actually trying to solve for this fucker's murder? I can't believe we're trying to help someone like him. Yeah, he wasn't exactly kind. I'm not sure how happy I am helping him, of all people. Well, if you have a problem trying to stop him, it'll be a shame seeing you get executed for incorrectly guessing it. Correct. I assure you, you'll probably want to solve it if you all want to keep your own life.
Now, to refresh you all, at the end of your discussions, must vote on who you think the killer is. If you all get it right, you all go free. And as my chicks have said, if you get it wrong, unfortunately, all of you will be punished except for the killer, who gets to walk away freely. Ugh, this is some bullshit. I can't believe we're solving for his murder. After all, he was the strongest out of all of us, and yet, look where it's gotten him. A fucking portrait.
And why you have to be beside me, of all people? Ugh, I hate it.
Well, if we don't have another choice, shouldn't we just get started already? I don't want to stress thinking about the fact I'm sitting beside this thing.
Well, that depends. Where do we even start? Not like only I didn't see the murder, but I don't even know what we even found.
Yeah, this murder case is rough as it is. Are we sure we'll be able to figure it out?
Relax, everyone. We haven't begun yet. We don't know and can't even jump to conclusions without knowing what our plan is. We must be able to focus and solve who the hell killed him. That's easy for you to say, Carmelita. This was most likely your fault. Well, you did also join me. It was Maskey's decision, not mine.
Well, if we must solve his murder, where must we begin? We have a lot of confusing evidence that we've gathered during our investigation. Can't we just piece together who killed him? I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, right? I bet even solving the murder weapon would be an easy accomplishment.
The murder weapon? Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad idea. If anything, we should start there. It's always a good topic, at least as far as I've seen in all of these things I've been in. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe if we figure out what killed him, we'll be able to figure out where to go next, right? Maybe we'll get a hint towards the killer? Seems like a risk. Whatever. We might want to give it a chance. We're in a game that we don't even understand at this point. But we need to give it a chance and figure out what's going on here. I don't see any other way around it. I believe we should discuss it. We're starting with the murder weapon. What an interesting choice.
Well, we shall only see what it comes from here. We must wish them good luck, won't we? Well, figuring out what killed him. How did Dimentio die? It's a strange murder, found in an even stranger place. Though, even if he was different than all of us, it can't be overlooked. I suppose that's where we'll start. What killed him?
Dimentio's body was found on the second-floor balcony of the school. We found him underneath a pile of blood and hanging over, pierced through the railing. We checked the crime scene. We didn't see anything that could have killed him.
It wasn't exactly anything that could have been deemed a weapon up against his body. Well, if we didn't find a murder weapon, how did he die?
It's not that hard to figure out. He was obviously pierced through the railing, and that's how he died. No, that's wrong.
Through the railing. I understand why you would say that. It's the position we found him in.
Right, and that's where all the blood came from. We didn't find anything else with blood on it. Wendy's right. Same with Shanty, too. There wasn't anything else that could have easily killed him.
But how's that to say that him being punctured through the railing is what did it?
What are you implying? Are you saying I, the magnificent Wendy, is wrong?
I'm saying you're mistaken. There was something that we were given.
I believe... One second. Monocro gave us an interesting updated thing on our Monocro tablets that helped us decipher part of the case. Let me take another look. You see, while there is a wound through Dimentio's stomach listed on the Monocro file, the cause of death lists that it was a thin point object. Not only that, but Carmelita, when we were inspecting Dimentio's body, you yourself pointed out that it was too big to be considered thin, right? With the size of those railings, of course, there's no way someone could get punctured through that and have it considered such a way.
So are you saying he was killed with something else? Not the railing?
I mean, it seems totally plausible, because if you think about it, how would someone be able to grab Dimentio and slam him onto the railing itself? They must have used something else to kill him. The problem with that is that that could be anyone, considering there are multiple people in this room who are actively holding swords as we speak. Hey, trust me, I didn't kill anyone. I wouldn't do it without Masky's insight. Well, that says a lot about you. Okay, so I guess it wasn't the railing that killed him. But then what was it? Not like we found anything else that could have killed. Well, I'm not sure. Not like I would have seen anything. Though, anything I heard anyways doesn't seem like something that could have killed him. Oh, well that's okay. We may not know the murder weapon now, but that doesn't mean we didn't uncover something. We were able to figure out that he wasn't pierced through the balcony, and that it was something else. That means we've gotten somewhere.
Barely. That doesn't raise much any answers either. There's still many questions to be answered.
Well, where do we go now? I mean, we've already answered one thing. I'm not sure where we go from here.
From this point, we could probably go any way we want.
I'm up for willing to listen to anyone's opinions on what we want to do next. Yes, Dingo Dial?
If you don't mind me mentioning, there is one question that I'm not sure if we should bring up this early, but certainly is bothering me.
Aye, what are you thinking?
You remember that wheelbarrow we found that was in front of the balcony?
That thing that looked like a shovel? I'm pretty sure the creator interpreted it as a wheelbarrow. Huh? So, it was a wheelbarrow? Then why was it there? And why do you bring this up? How do you know what it is?
Well, yeah. You see, after the whole mess that was last night, we ended up trying to split away, and I was asked to grab weapons for everyone.
Oh, so that explains everything in our rooms. It was you delivering them, wasn't it?
Well, yes. And I was using that wheelbarrow to do so. Issue is, I didn't place it at that crime scene. It was in the tool shed.
So then perhaps it was moved. Or by the killer? Or perhaps you?
What? Are you calling me a liar? Well, you aren't exactly a truther. You could, considering you're the ultimate pyromaniac, I wouldn't suspect any less but a lie from you.
Well, maybe we should give him a chance. We don't know if he's the culprit yet. It should be a good idea to listen out to him. Plus, it's even a bigger mystery. The wheelbarrow. How did it get moved there? See, this is good. Now we'll move on to figuring out what the wheelbarrow is. It shouldn't be that hard. You think you can continue from here, Waddle Dee?
Can't believe she's putting me on the spot. Does she see me as something valuable? I'm just trying to escape and get out of here and, whatever. Maybe if I play it safe for now, nothing will be found. I'll keep it going. Maybe we'll discover something. So how did the wheelbarrow get out the crime scene? Especially if Dingodile was the one who last had it.
Well, one answer is that the culprit could be Dingodile.
Shut up! I didn't kill anyone. You're gonna have to believe me.
We found it with the wheels broken. So how did it get moved anyways? Maybe it was broken because it was damaged in some way? The entire railing was broken anyways. Perhaps it was used to destroy it, like it was rammed through the railing. No, that's wrong. It makes sense, Link, but no, that wheelbarrow couldn't have been what destroyed the railing. What do you mean? Not only is it coincidentally underneath the balcony, but there was all the destroyed railing bits too. The sticks were everywhere. Oi, he has a point. Perhaps that maybe we should reconsider. I mean, if that wheelbarrow was taken from the top floor and rammed through, not only would it explain the damage, but it would also explain the incessant need for a murder weapon. After all, I mentioned myself that not even a weapon could have broken those guard rails. Still, I don't believe the wheelbarrow could have been taken up, because remember, there were no wheels on it. Not only that, but we saw Tom Nook's map. It also said that the only way up to the top floor is with stairs. I'd like to see someone try and take bring a wheelbarrow up through the stair. Maybe it's just my experience of not being able to see, but I can't vouch for that. It's not a good idea. Well then, how did the railing get destroyed? All we've been able to answer is not a possibility. We don't know how the wheelbarrow got there. Okay, well it can't have been the wheelbarrow, but that still means something must have made it break. The rail guard. Maybe we should bring that up. So we are confirming that something broke the rail guard. I mean, it's a rail guard. It's not meant to be broken.
Well, the only strong thing we knew of, the wheelbarrow, is now no longer an option. So, how did the railguard break?
Ooh, a mystery on top of a mystery. Do you think we'll solve this one? I'm not sure. But considering how Waddle Dee has been treating us so far, I think I know where he's going. I don't know. Waddle Dee, do you have an idea?
Of how the railguard broke? Let me think. There's no way a simple weapon could have snapped that thing in two. And we've already ruled out the possibility it could be the wheelbarrow. Then how did something as strong as that break? I mean, it could have been done normally. Maybe there was another factor at play. What could have done it? I got it!
We take an interesting step into this equation. We barely found any evidence throughout the entire scene. There's nothing that we could have found that could have broken the railguard.
For once I agree, there wasn't anything that we discovered that could have caused such a ruckus, excluding the wheelbarrow, but we've already ruled that out.
Okay, then what could have broken it? Especially if we didn't find anything else.
Perhaps it wasn't a thing that broke it. What if it was someone?
Are you thinking it might be the killer?
Well, wouldn't that bring us some suspects down? We'd be able to discover it was Dingo Die, perhaps. Or someone else for their strength? Propeller Knight? Zote? Shut up. I didn't kill anyone.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think the killer broke it. I think Dimentio did.
What? Dimentio broke the guardrail? Are you sure about that?
Considering he's dead?
Haha, what a twist. I'm interested myself. Mind explaining, Waddle Dee?
Shut up, you stupid bird. We don't need your insight.
Be quiet or I'll execute you, mon ami.
As
I was saying, I like to believe it might be Dimentio who broke the railguard. And the only reason I say that is because nothing else we know or anyone here could have the capabilities of doing so. And Dimentio, he has magic. I have a theory of mine.
A theory? Well, don't keep us in the dark. You better say it.
Dimentio was in a position of, well, I would imagine interest. I don't see him being the type to get scared easily. I would imagine perhaps he was chasing our culprit. Chasing them? I mean, the balcony was broken. What if he believed he cornered the killer and tried to attack him with something? Perhaps magic. A shadow ball, perhaps.
What? He's not a Pokemon. Oi, but he does possess an incredible amount of strength. I'd imagine he'd be able to cause some damage like we see in the railguard.
That's why I believe it might have been Dimentio. I don't think the killer would be someone to possess that much strength. I imagine it was Dimentio who broke it, thinking he had either cornered the killer or trapped them.
But that raises another issue, Waddle Dee. How did he know he cornered the killer? And why were they chasing to begin with?
Well, I believe I might be able to answer it. If we think carefully, I believe we might...
I think it's time you back off.
What was that?
I'm gonna need you to stop right there. I don't believe a word you're saying, Waddle.
Weavile, what are you doing?
A rebuttal. I don't believe you. Look, the fact that Dimentio might have been the one to break the railguard, I don't believe it 1 second. It doesn't make sense. And you're already going into an immense theory that has a lot of plot holes in it, just by saying this.
I do not see the killer being the one to have done it. It just seems impossible. This had to be the only...
Oh really? If you mean it, you'll prove it to me. Look, Waddle Dee, there's no way that could have been Dimentio. It doesn't seem like him to be able to destroy the balcony.
It couldn't have been anyone else. The killer's too hard to identify so far, and we can't make assumptions yet. Believing it was Dimentio is our only option.
Why would Dimentio do that? Why would he go through the effort to try and kill someone?
Perhaps that's why he went after him, to try and stop him. But would stopping him in Dimentio's eyes really mean murder? If that shadow ball missed and it hit the killer, he would be dead. And I don't think Dimentio is even one to try and even kill anyone in the first place. You're right, Dimentio wouldn't kill. Something else was at play. But how do we know that? It's not like we have any evidence he actually broke the railing. Really? No, that's wrong. What the? That's wrong. And I'll show you why. Weavile, you are absolutely wrong. There's no other option. Dimentio was the one who broke the railing. And how do you know that? Fennekin, Ashley, can I use your help for a sec?
Huh? What with us?
Really? You had to pull me into this? What is it you want? You two heard something overnight. You told me yourself. It was a crash sound, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a crash sound. I kind of forgot about it, but again, it was very soft, and it had a strange charging noise before there was a crash.
It sounded like the sound of an energy being created before dissipating after a loud boom.
A charging energy sound? Dissipating? Oh, come on. You can't really mean...
I think our theory of Dimentio using his magic to destroy the railing is more likely than we may believe. We have two alibis here who both claim to hear the same thing. And I'm pretty certain that if it was the wheelbarrow, it would have caused more damage and a louder crash. There's no doubt about it. It was Dimentio. He was the one who broke the rail guard.
But that only opens another can of worms. Why would it be him to break it?
And what would be his purpose in doing so? I mean, was it to really track down the culprit? There could be multiple reasons for such a thing, though only one can be correct.
I'm not quite sure, but we have been able to narrow down something. That means we know that Dimentio broke the guardrail, and there are multiple reasons he could have done so. The question is, why was it him?
Well, he must have had a reason to do so.
I imagine there must have been an exterior motive at play.
Of course there was. His rule kept him from sleeping all night long. He was awake. And if the culprit was preparing a murder at that time, obviously there was something going on that he must have been aware of. The issue is, what was it he was aware of? How did this murder even play out?
Something must have been done there. Not only that, but the culprit must have escaped the crime scene after they somehow managed to kill Dimentio.
If we piece it together so far, Dimentio came out and had a reason to break the railguard. It's not sure why, but we can assume it must have been done with the culprit. The culprit then somehow got the upper hand and killed him on the balcony, and then they proceed to place his body on the broken railguard.
Alright, now that makes another question. How did the culprit leave the crime scene?
Well, wouldn't they just walk out the way they came? Just exit through the building?
Do not believe it would be fast enough. Considering me and Fennekin woke up from the sound, so one of us surely must have been, if the chance that one of us went to investigate, the body would have been found early. So they needed a faster way to escape the crime scene. What was that?
A faster way to escape the crime scene. I'm not sure if I know it. Maybe if I play it here, this might be my time to lure them away. I might be able to fool them at...
Actually, I might know how they escaped.
Great.
Oh, look, the rabbit's talking. Listen, I actually mean it. I might know a way the culprit escaped the crime scene without going back through the school.
You believe you might know what happened?
Not the full picture, but I have an idea as how they escaped. One I'm quite positive in. I don't see any other option. Oi, you better tell us. We want to hear.
Yes, we can figure out what they use now.
It's not that hard to figure out. I don't know if I'll be able to explain it myself. Waddle Dee, do you mind helping?
What? No, this will ruin my chance. I can't.
Waddle Dee, it's okay. You don't have to. Monami, you can tell me. I might be able to figure it out.
What? No, Madeline,
trust me. I got this, Waddle Dee. You can tell me. I'll be able to figure it out. Alright. I can tell you. Just listen closely and I'll let you know. Yes, I promise. I'll be able to figure it out. Just tell me. Okay. Listen closely, Madeline. Okay, Madeline, you're gonna have to listen to me. I'm gonna tell you some questions, okay? You're gonna have to try and figure out what I mean. Decipher them, okay?
Okay.
I think I'm ready. I might be able to do it. Don't worry, I know you'll get it. I believe in you. I'm gonna ask you the first question, and just try and answer your best, okay? Firstly, how did the culprit get access to the wheelbarrow?
How did they get the wheelbarrow?
Well, it could be multiple things. It could be Dingodile for one who always had it, but then it could be the fact that he moved it back to the tool shed. If that were the case, then someone must have gotten it from the tool shed. That's right. We don't know yet if it was someone else in particular who ended up taking it, so we have to assume it was taken from the tool shed. Next question. Why were the wheels removed from the wheelbarrow?
The wheels?
I'm not sure. By taking off the wheelbarrows, they would keep it from moving. But they would need it to be able to transport any object of their desire to their location. But what if they weren't transporting anything? That's it. What if they weren't transporting anything? They took off the wheels to keep the wheelbarrow in place. Yes, you're getting it. Okay, one last question, and you'll be able to figure it out. Okay. My last question. How did the culprit escape the crime scene? How did the culprit escape the crime scene? The wheelbarrows were removed, and they must have gotten it from the tool shed. If the wheels were removed to keep the wheelbarrow in place, then the wheelbarrow was their escape. They used it as a ramp, didn't they? Now I understand what happened. The wheelbarrow. It wasn't used to carry anything. It was the culprit's escape.
Sorry, the culprit used the wheelbarrow to escape the crime scene?
Now how does that make sense?
Yeah, it was all the way down below the balcony.
That was the point.
Think about it this way. If the culprit tried to escape the crime scene normally, they'd have to go all the way through the school. But the culprit didn't want to risk that. If someone had heard Dimentio's sound, then someone like Ashley or Fennekin could have came out. That's why they did it this way. They tried to escape. The wheelbarrow had its wheels removed so it didn't move while they landed on it. Let me try and get what you're saying. So after pinning up Dimentio, they leaped off the balcony and used it to slide down? I mean, it wasn't that big, but if you angle yourself right, you might be able to catch yourself and slide back down the wheelbarrow.
And that would essentially provide themselves a safe landing. That's what it was. It was an escape route. Yes, you understand. That's what I need. That's such a stupid way for someone to commit murder.
I'm not sure. I don't like it. Honestly, there could have been many other ways it could have been done. Don't you all agree?
Of course. Yes, indeed.
Here, I swear to God. Chicks, not now. Flash trial time.
So it was an escape route. This whole time, they tried to use it as a method to try and leave the crime scene. And that's how they got over. That's also why it was found tilted halfway down. They probably landed in the wheelbarrow and it rolled. So we know how the culprit escaped. And that's why no one found them until the next morning. But that raises another question. What about everything before it? Like, what do you mean, Link? I mean, come on. We figured out the ending of the case. We don't know everything before it. Not only that, but we don't even know the murder weapon.
He has a point. We are still missing some crucial pieces of evidence that would be vital.
I don't think we need to focus on those right now. I believe what we need to do right now is just focus on what we currently have. I mean, we've been able to solve the last part of the case. Everything in between may still be a mystery, but we've still figured out one portion of it.
Yes, and I believe that we can take this moment to lower ourselves some suspects.
What do you mean?
We know the culprit used the wheelbarrow to escape the crime scene, and that was important. With it, and maybe some other stuff, we might be able to finally begin lowering suspects, so now no longer is everyone a victim.
You'll come back to helping me, right, Waddle Dee?
I hope maybe I'll be able to pin a way to prove it's not me, but we'll have to see what happens. I should be able to help.
The culprit used the wheelbarrow to escape the crime scene. But this information can also be used to keep us away from some suspects. If the culprit was too big, they wouldn't be able to land in the wheelbarrow. That would mean anyone big is immediately off the list.
So Dingodile, Piranha Plant, Zelt, Peller Knight, and Carmelita are all off the list.
Oi, that's only 5 people. We need more. There had to have been something else that must have been used to help us lower more suspects, right?
I agree with that.
Ashley, you're right. There's something else that we can use. Besides having those 5 people now innocent with the wheelbarrow, we can narrow it down a bit further. Great. I can't believe I'm the one who's being helped right now.
What's the matter? You have a problem with being right?
Just tell me what you are thinking, Waddle Dee. Let's start talking about everyone's rules. How about we do that?
Our rules? You think that's gonna help us figure out who could have been or not?
Why wouldn't it have been? After all, with this, we might be able to lower down who it could be and who it couldn't. They are right. Maskey says that if everyone remembers correctly, that we'll all be able to figure out who it could have been, because the rule's only active if you are awake. The moment you awake, your rule begins.
I can't believe the sword of all people remembered.
It wasn't me, it was Maskey.
Whatever. As long as you speak for him, I'm always gonna believe it's you. At least until you die.
I'm not dying, you stupid bird.
But we don't know everyone's rules. But those who we did know, we can lower off the suspect list. Let's take Tom Nook, for example.
Really? Why me?
If he were to be awake, he'd have to spend that hour at least eating a dinner meal. That's what we know, right? If he even took the time to wake up and try and kill him, he would obviously have to spend time eating before he either got home or killed Dimentio.
That would be true, yes.
Well, that means it couldn't be me, cause I can't be 5 feet within anyone, so I couldn't have gone close to Dimentio. And I couldn't have been able to see, not with the blindfold on. Me naturally either. I couldn't have been able to do it.
I think that's just a free pass on your part, Piranha Plant.
Neither could have been me. Though we've already proved that fact with me being able to land in the wheelbarrow. If I entered a room at all to try and go after Dimentio, I would be stuck in there for 3 hours, remember? Well, with that out of the way, I believe that just leaves me, Link, Ashley, Hanami, Mask, Weavile, Fennekin, Waddle Dee, and Windy. This is good. What would have been a lot of suspects is now lowered down to half of us. This is good.
So we've lowered suspects. Where do we go from here? I mean, we still have a mystery to solve, and we've only uncovered the last bit of it. We don't know anything leading up to it.
Oi, maybe we should go back on that. We might be able to figure out what we can cover next. But there are a lot of aspects of this murder that are confusing. Will we be able to answer them all?
If we take them one at a time, yes. Perhaps we start with that. Why don't everyone say what they want to talk about, and we consider where we should begin? Why don't we do that?
That to begin next. I mean, that shouldn't be that hard. We might be able to figure out where our next starting point will be. Let's do it. We've lowered suspects. Now what do we focus on? We have yet to answer the murder weapon. Maybe we could talk about that? But we still don't have anything that can prove to us what it was. Well, we never got to the hand of what happened before the case. We might be able to unravel something if we start from the beginning instead of the end. About when Dimentio attacked us. We never did figure out why he attacked the rail guard. I agree with that. Now that I'm thinking it over, I didn't include this earlier, but you might be right about one thing. There probably is a reason why they attacked the rail guard.
You think so?
Well, I don't think it will be much of a starting point, but I suppose you can answer it for us. We found something at the crime scene. A voice recorder, one that I personally had seen before it. Didn't it have, like, Monocro's voice on it or something?
My voice? I don't ever recall my voice being recorded.
Too. It was definitely your voice.
Whatever it is, it must have been something else.
Papa's voice would never be recorded, at least not with our permission. Yeah, well, someone did, so shut up.
So, the voice recorder. What about it?
I know it's not exactly a starting point, but it's something to reconsider. Because I mentioned earlier that that voice recorder wasn't there before. I had seen it earlier when I was helping Cream get something for Piranha Plant. I had spotted it while looking around for a shovel for her. And I ended up finding that voice recorder, but at the time it didn't have a voice on it. Wait, how does that make sense? When we overheard the voice recording, it said we overheard that it was during when Monokuro was meeting his, introducing the motive. That's right. So, how did it end up back in the tool shed? Was it to be grabbed? Whatever it is, I'm not sure that was the reason. I believe that perhaps the reason Dimentio guardrail was because maybe they didn't believe it was the killer there. They heard Monocro's voice. That voice came through the voice recorder. But the timing on that would have to be perfect. But it would also give up a greater reason for why Dimentio wanted to attack. After all, he wouldn't willingly attack another student. If it was Monocro, I could see it. So someone faked and pretended to act like it was Monocro. Interesting.
Actually, I think that helps us in the long run. Because if you think about it, that means we might be dealing with a cat and mouse scenario. What if Dimentio wasn't chasing the killer? They were chasing Monocro. Correction, or what they thought was Monocro. Well, we don't know that for certain. So that explains the damage to the railguard a bit more clearly. But it also explains why another piece of evidence was important.
Another piece of evidence?
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think I do too.
Really? Tell us. What do you think I'm referring to?
Carmelita's implying that if that voice recorder had Monocro's voice on it, then it was used as a way to bait Dimentio. But what if the baiting game started earlier than that? Not just with Monocro's voice, but something else related to him.
Huh? I think I got it.
I think you're talking about the sensor, the one that was going off in the lobby. Isn't that right? The sensor, the one playing the loud sounds? I can still hear it ringing in my ears. Masky doesn't like remembering it. What about it? I initially set up that sensor so that it would detect Monocro's movements. There was a secret passage behind that painting, and that's why I put it there. Or, correction, I got Shanty and Link to put it there. Honestly, I was just going off of what you said. I didn't actually believe there was anything behind there.
But still, that means someone must have been trying to lure Dimentio earlier than that. That would mean the reason the sensor went off was also the reason why we heard Monocro's voice.
Someone ended up tripping it. Dimentio would believe it was Monocro.
Not only that, but that route where the sensor was on the way to the balcony.
Well, I don't know why I'm coming into play, but I can assure you this. I did not kill Dimentio. Neither was he chasing me that night.
Wow, so you just proved it was a fabrication. Thanks a lot. Great going, Father. You just helped them out.
Relax. It won't prove anything to them. I assure you.
You know, that could prove more than just the fact he was baited. I mean, we've been able to figure out that, hey, well, there are two things that pin that it was on Monocro. But what if it was more than just that?
Dimentio was on the side with us, that we shouldn't attack Monocro. Though, what if that was the reason why the culprit was baiting it to believe it was Monocro?
I'm gonna assume what I think you're saying. Are you saying that they used someone on the other side, one that was part of attacking, to try and lure them away?
Yes, planning all this against Monocro was a way of alerting Dimentio that he was wrong. And that means, of course, the most likely explanation is that the killer was someone helping with Carmelita trying to attack him.
Now hold on, you cannot safely accuse that just because we were on the other side means it was really us. Yeah, you've kind of gotten Masky a bit upset saying that.
Look, we didn't kill anyone. We don't know what you're talking about. You're being absurd.
Well, it's the only explanation. If you think about it, it connects dots clearly, and that means one of you on your side must—
No. That can't be right, Madeline.
What do you mean? Think about it. You're claiming that those who were on the side of attacking Monocro used Monocro as bait to kill Dimentio. What's the point? Well, the point is that they would use him to lure, but of course, if that were the case, it would ruin their attempts to attack Monocro by killing Dimentio. Then what do you suggest? Tried to attack Monocro, and they ended up killing someone instead. It would ruin their plan. We saw Carmelita's side. No one in that group is willing or has the motive to try and kill. That leaves only one option. The killer was someone that was siding with me. What? Hold on. Are you saying the killer was someone who was on Dimentio's side? That's just crazy.
Hey, you can't be saying that. It would make sense for the others to kill, wouldn't it?
Right. I promise I didn't kill anyone. Well, he's got a point. If Carmelita's side did try to go and try and end Monocro and stop the game, then killing someone like Dimentio would stop their whole plan. And I doubt Carmelita would have allowed that.
Well, Monami is right. I wouldn't have.
It's the only thing that makes sense. It can't have been anyone else. Not only that, it will lower more suspects for us and tell us that it has— We don't deserve this blame. Waddle Dee, I don't know what you're thinking, but this This is absurd. None of us could have really tried to kill Dimentio. He was with us.
But would we really listen to Carmelita and let them go against what they wanted?
Even still, everyone on our side was too sweet. Everyone knew the logistics in this. There's no way any of us could have killed Dimentio.
That's not true. I'm gonna prove it to you, Fennekin. I'll show you why it has to be one of us.
There's no way one of us could be the culprit. Everyone that was siding with you has no reason to murder.
That's not true. Anyone could have their own motives in this case. You saw the rules. Plus, anyone on Carmelita's side has a reason not to.
No. How do we know one of them didn't lie and change afterwards? Not everyone there could have been so promising to Carmelita, especially when so many of them were backstabbers.
That's not true. If everyone on that side was willing to stick with Carmelita, they wouldn't change. You saw everyone who was on her side anyways.
Doesn't mean someone wouldn't change anyways. How do we know for certain it had to be one of us? There's no other option.
There is one thing that can prove it. No, that's wrong. No, you can't. I know what proves it. That it had to be one of us. It's not just the attack on Monocro that proves it had to be one of us.
Being up to it, how do you know that?
You said it yourself, Fennekin. It wasn't just you who ended up having a motive for last night with Ashley. It was this morning too. Huh?
What about that?
As I recall, though you, Ashley, and Cream, who were on our side, had an argument with Windy, Link, and Dingodile, who were on the others. You said so yourself.
How exactly is this important?
Yeah, what does this prove? It helps prove that's only someone on my side could have been the one that could have killed. You said so yourself that you were arguing about what you would do. You said yourself you were scared, weren't you?
Well,
you said that you were gonna do whatever it takes to stop them from doing what their job was. Not only that, you said the same to Cream and Ashley, didn't you?
now hold on. Just because I said that doesn't mean...
It means a lot. It proves that some of us were willing to kill to stop what the others had in store. I mean, you did say that.
No, Damn it.
If that isn't enough proof alone to show that it could have been one of us easily and our motives were similar, I don't know what is. I'm still not fully sold on it, Waddle Dee. Huh?
You may say that, but I don't believe it could have been any of us. There's no way some of us could have done it.
You don't know that. It's not true. Some of us could have still had that motive. I just proved it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It still could have been some of them. Well, I'm certain it was some of you.
Doesn't matter. Some of us all have different ideas, and I think that's safe to say that it could still be some of us.
Yeah, they're right. How can we know for certain?
I think you're just making a bigger issue of this, Waddle Dee.
How would you know? I'm trying to get everyone safe. I'm trying to do this for myself. I don't want to be found out as...
Waddle Dee, you're not going to be able to do this just with them. You've realized that everyone is a mystery here. And it's not that simple to lower down suspects. She is right about that.
What do you have in all of this?
The fact that I'm loving how everyone has their own opinions. It's certainly better than a split, of course. Why do you say that so ominously? Don't you dare put us into a Scrum debate.
I swear to God.
What fucking fool do you take me for? I don't enjoy those with split opinions. Only having two up for grabs, it eliminates so many other possibilities. In fact, considering there are 17 of you, I imagine each of you have your own opinion.
Why wouldn't we? I mean, sure, some of us may side with others, but we can't always have our own.
Father, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Of course. I have been preparing myself for a different kind of method of settling opinions rather than that stupid debate. I believe this might be the time to show it off.
Yes, Father. I've been excited for this particular game. You were the one hyping it up.
Yes, I'm enjoying it. What are you talking about? What do you mean, our opinion? Well, I don't mind a new type of game. Here's how we're gonna play it. I hope everyone's ready. Everyone has their own opinions. Let's see who survives until the... Everyone shall share their opinions. And one by one, I'll have each other knock each other down. The one who still has their opinion remaining in the end shall be the one that wins overall. Let's see who is victorious in this one. Great. If I'm going to win this, I'm going to have to find a way and use each other's opinions against each other. I won't be able to save everyone. I have to think this over. There's no way any of us on Waddle Dee's side could be the killer. We don't have a motive to do so.
Yes, she's right.
No, she has to be honest about it. It couldn't have been... There, 3 people have the same opinion. If I can break one, all of them will lose their train of thoughts. Who brought up motive? Madeline.
It had to be one of us. If it wasn't, it would ruin the ideas of the others.
No. Yes, that's what I need. I just need to ensure I stay in, and my opinion will be the one that everyone will believe. Well, it can't be any of us. We were the ones siding with Carmelita. She's right. If one of us killed, it ruined the entire idea of the murder. Someone brought it up. A way to defeat him. Carmelita. He's already proven that it can't be one of us. There's no point in saying that we aren't the culprits. No! Wait a second. But the sensor went off. The only way it could have gone off is if someone on their side tried to fake it to be Monocro.
Link's right. It had to be one of y'all.
Cream's gone. My only choice is Masky.
Either way,
It doesn't matter which side of us had triggered the alarm. Any of us could have pinned it on Monocro. Ah, shit!
oh wait, hold on. But we saw the rules. Only so many of us could be able to kill.
If the person had a rule, there's no way they could have murdered.
Masky's right. He believes the same thing.
That's too many. I need someone else. Tom Nook. But some rules could have hindered our ways of murder. Just because someone hasn't doesn't mean they couldn't have done it.
Fuck this.
No, wait. Hey, hold on a second. Everyone left who was a suspect had to have a way of escaping. And the only people who could have were those who could have made it onto the wheelbarrow.
And of course, those who couldn't escape the school.
At least not without a regular ability.
Oh shoot. Mon ami, we may have already proven those are the only ways out, but that doesn't mean it's the only possibility.
Ugh. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Well, we only have 4 left. Let's end it with a big shoot-off, shall we? You may all claim it, but there's only one possibility. The culprit is someone on our side. Waddle Dee, you.
Well, this is about to happen. Well, this is gonna happen.
My point's been proven. The culprit is one of us. My opinion is right. Wonderful. It seems Waddle Dee has won. That means his opinion is the correct one. At least until someone says something else.
It's better than a Scrum debate, I'll give it that.
Alright, I guess we'll believe it. You're right, Waddle Dee. I guess the only one who could really be the culprit is someone who is on our side. I'm right. Yes, that only means it can only be a few people. One of us is a culprit. And with that, we've significantly lowered it more. That means that just leaves me. Actually, huh? Waddle Dee? This opinion thing you've brought on us, I was thinking during the attack, and I'm questioning a couple things right now. Questioning? Murder related? Yes, as for the murder. Your opinion, I believe, is officially right. There is a problem with it, however. Looking at the evidence, I've been piecing together a possibility. A possibility? As to who the culprit is. Huh? Are you saying you know the culprits? Not specifically, but I have a strong 95% idea of who it is. Awkward number. And how did you get that? Waddle Dee, may I ask you a question? Well, at this point, I guess I am kind of leading the trial. I guess it only makes sense. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Did you kill Dimentio? What the? Huh? Excuse?
No!
Huh? Are you telling the truth?
Waddle Dee?
Carmelita, what the heck?
Why are you accusing him of all people?
No, it's completely possible, and I 100% mean it. Waddle Dee is the one who killed Dimentio.
Hey, that's bullshit. Have you seen him?
He may be a loner, but there's no way someone like him could murder.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm having struggles believing it myself. There's no way you can actually mean this, right?
No, Waddle Dee's been there for us. Why would it be him? I don't believe it.
It might actually be you, too. No.
You're wrong. There's no way Waddle Dee could have killed Dimentio. He has no motive, no reason to. Right?
No, you're wrong. There's no way I'm the culprit. You realize that. You don't believe I'm not smart enough, Waddle Dee? I've seen it. It's you. Everything connects. And if you don't believe me, I dare you to try and knock down my opinions. I can't believe this. This is actually happening.
Wow, we're accusing Waddle Dee. I thought he was gonna stick around.
Well, perhaps it might turn out a different way.
There's no way Waddle Dee can be the killer. You're wrong. I won't let you prove this to him. I've seen it. He's been there for me. You can't accuse him for killing someone like Dimentio. Right?
We have already decided that someone on your behalf is the culprit. That person in particular must be you. Yeah? And where is your proof on that matter?
Bandana D knew of the sensor and the voice recorder.
And his body is small enough to land in the barrow wagon, and that doesn't explain that he is the culprit.
Why not? He had a route to get to Dimentio. He always did. That isn't right. No, I don't believe that. There's no way that Waddle Dee just had the ability to get to Dimentio.
Really? Do you not believe me?
Tom Nook, your map.
Huh? Why?
Just show it already.
I folded it and crumpled it up, so it's hard to tell, but here you go.
You see that? His room was the farthest one back. And if that were the case, it would ruin his own motives to try and get to the garden and take it. Especially when other people knew where this stuff was.
She has a point.
Yeah, he couldn't have really done it.
Is that all you have, Madeline? I'm not done yet. You see, there's something else that bothers reckoning. You're just making an opinion, not an actual fact.
What do you have against?
2 pieces of evidence. The sensor and the voice recorder.
But the voice recorder's in the tool shed.
And you gave me and Chansey the sensor.
Oi, that's right, mate.
It's not those that prove it. It's everything else. Let's take another look at the map. The sensor was placed in the lobby, around the corner. The voice recorder was on the balcony where Dimentio's body currently is. Here's the issue with that. Both are in an area farther away than each other. It's near impossible for both to try and intertwine. If Dimentio hears the sensor go off in the lobby, the voice recorder would not be enough to be heard on the balcony. The sound is the problem? How do you expect to prove this?
Yeah, what are you getting at?
There was a third intervention, one that led Dimentio upstairs to the 2nd floor, and I believe I know what that is. Your shadow puppets. My shadow puppets? That's just an off-ability. You can't be blaming me for that.
But it's true. There are some miniature lights in that school when it goes off. Some's on the sides, like lamps and such. For the school it is.
And if Dimentio were to be at the staircase, he would definitely be able to see, let's say, a figure of a bird flapping, our third instance of monochrome being involved. And you did show us you can replicate a bird. No, you can't believe this. This is absurd. No, he's lying. There's no way you can blame him for that. It's insignificant. My second piece of evidence against the matter of Waddle Dee. Madeline, you remember the stack of objects that was found outside?
You mean the one that I believe we found?
There was stuff there, don't worry. And why is that important? Yeah, how are you accusing me with that?
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? What is this important?
It's something we've been refraining from talking about this whole time, but now that it's here, I believe that those objects, that's our murder weapon.
What do you mean? Are you telling me that insignificant stone was the thing that killed him?
Not just the stone, but the stick and string too. What are you implying? It's not hard. A stone as sharp as that, connected with a stick, tied to multiple layers of string. Sounds like a replica of a spear, isn't that right?
Yeah? But that makes no sense. If I was to make another weapon, why wouldn't I just use my own?
Afraid to get blood on it. It's that simple.
Are you saying that thing we found out there? That's all remnants of a weapon? What would have been?
I believe not only that. I have an extra theory. Waddle Dee, what precisely was in your room that Dingodile delivered?
What? This is important. I don't have to say it.
Oh, that's a shame. Dingo, may you tell us what you delivered to Waddle Dee's...
What are you? A sharp stone, string, well, technically rope, and a long stick that was the handle of an axe.
Well, I think that sums it up pretty nicely. Unfortunate Waddle Dee, you're kind of cornered now.
No, I didn't kill him. I did not hurt Dimentio. Just because all that seems like it could make a spear doesn't mean I actually used it to make a spear.
No, I can't let you blame him like this. Don't you still see it? That he is the culprit? Or are you blind, Madeline? No! She's right. Ashley, she has a point. That evidence was put to his room, and he used it, didn't he? I bet if we checked his door now, it wouldn't be there, would it? Hold on. You're sounding guilty. Was it really you? Waddle Dee, no! You couldn't—
Shut up. Shut up. I won't believe it. There's no way it could be him. I refuse to acknowledge it.
Did you think I'm done yet? There's one last piece of evidence we've forgotten to mention.
It will surely be enough to show you the truth.
No, I won't let you accuse him. Waddle Dee's too important. I can't let him lose it like this. He's helped me get through it, and I won't let him go. I'll prove them wrong.
The weapons outside were shaped in a spear. By connecting them together, you make the murder weapon. The stone was covered in blood, wasn't it?
But he would have just used his own weapon, wouldn't he? Oi, but the sensors and the voice, they convict him, don't he?
And we saw his shadow puppets firsthand.
That doesn't mean it's me. There's nothing that points that it could actually be me as the killer. Points? Pointing. No. Wait. Hold on a second. No, wait. Don't you see it now, Madeline? Go ahead. Do it. I know you don't have a choice. Shut up. This can't be... No. The point.
That isn't right.
What are you doing? You can't seriously be doing this, right? The pointing hand. Dimentio's pointing hand. I didn't realize it until just now. It was a way of showing it was you who killed them.
Huh? How did Dimentio's hand prove him the culprit?
Are you going crazy? I thought you were just defending.
I was, but it's now undeniable. The hand. It wasn't pointing anywhere. It was pointing towards where you hid the pile of objects.
No.
So you see it? Dimentio's hand. He moved it at this last moment. Because if you remember, Dimentio's hands were never connected to his body. He could move them freely. Doesn't that also explain another piece of evidence? The monochrome file. His hands were red. They said they were wounded, but there was no wounds on them. Dimentio's hands were never connected to his body. That means, when he died, his consciousness would die as well, resulting in losing control of his hands. And that means... With the last of Dimentio's strength, he moved his hand down to the floor and pointed to where he saw Waddle Dee hide the pile of objects, the murder weapon, which was the spear, and that proved it was him. No! That's absurd! You can't really be saying this. Just because of that one thing, it can't be me. No,
There's no way some stupid hand proves I'm the culprit, right? Remember, I'm the one who's been trying to help all of you through these rules. Don't you see me? I'm literally the protagonist.
Wow, self-centered.
But, it all connect. And you seem to match everything we've been saying. That's not true. You can't seriously be pinning this on me. That hand proves nothing. But hold on, how do we really know that hand, actually is pointing towards those objects? Did anyone, really just follow it? No, but I did take into account. After we started going the way of the objects, I was easily able to look back and see, yes, that is indeed where they are pointing. Dimentio would have died. There's no way he could have known. If he was attacked, if he was attacked, then he would have just died instantly. You stabbed him through the stomach. I doubt something like that would have killed him instantly. And with hands not connected as his, it would have been hard for him to take his hand and move it down so that everyone would see it. No. And that's why the other one was up on the balcony. Shut up! I did not kill him. You have no proof. If this isn't enough proof, I don't know what is. Doesn't everyone see that he is the killer? Masky agrees. There's no choice at this point.
Yeah, it's all pointing back to you.
I see it now. It must have been you. There's no way around it.
It was you, wasn't it?
No! Look, you all can say this over and over, but I will continue to deny it and hold my ground. I did not kill them. No, it makes sense. What? I don't want to admit it, but they're right. He's right. There's one thing holding him back from being the killer. I need to answer it. I can prove why. It all fits. We're missing one thing. If I prove it, it'll all make sense. Oh, none of it's true. I'll prove it or you all wrong. Don't you believe me, Madeline? I'm your friend, remember? Madeline, won't you show him what it really is? I know it. I know what is wrong. I know the thing that'll answer and prove you the killer. And I know what it is. I'm sorry for this. You're all wrong. I never killed Dimentio. You have no proof.
It can't be Waddle Dee.
I told you he couldn't be trusted.
This is wrong. It has to be.
Let him defend himself. I'm the one solving this case. It can't be me.
Perhaps you were solving this case to act innocent towards us.
Why would he solve his own murder? To gain false trust.
That's just a coincidence.
It's not enough to accuse him. The monochrome alarm itself wouldn't be enough to lure Dimentio to the killer.
You know how to create shadow puppets. You lured Dimentio with them.
Carmelita's to thank for that one.
Intuition leads to the best guesses.
He has nubbed hands.
Let's not question it further. Why would Dimentio be awake in the middle of the night?
His rule restricted him to not sleep in the slightest. Listen to me! How could Dimentio's hand move after he was already dead?
His hands were controlled by mental connection, his mind.
There's no way that hand proves I'm the killer. His hand pointed to where you hit the makeshift spear used to murder him. No, that's wrong. Why? Why the hell would I wait to kill Dimentio after getting him where I wanted?
Your rule forced you to interact with people. You stopped to talk to Dimentio before killing him.
I didn't kill him.
That was it. That's why it was Dimentio, wasn't it? Your rule.
My rule has nothing to do with this. What do I have anything to do with it?
That's why he told us. That's why the hand was below, and that's why he pointed towards the objects.
When your rule, you have to interact with people. You couldn't have just killed him straight away. No, that's why you baited him with the monochrome stuff. You led him to the balcony. No, shut up. You know nothing. And after leading him to the balcony, you couldn't kill him straight away. You used him as bait. You spoke with him, didn't you? No, that isn't true. And then whatever you talked about then, that's the reason you killed him. Not everything before.
That's right. Your rule would have forced you to talk with him. You didn't kill him straight away.
No. No. You're all wrong. Dimentio would have stopped me at that point. But he's never one to kill anyone. Even so, he may be evil, but he doesn't have that in him. You do. I can see. No! You can't prove it. How can you prove I really talked with him? Maybe if I go back, I'll show you why it's you. No. Madeline, I think it's time. If you go back to the beginning and explain it all, you'll prove it and why it's him. I know. Waddle Dee, I will prove that you are the culprit. You're the one who murdered Dimentio. This is the truth of the case. It all began when Monocro assigned us our first motive, the rules. Each of us got an assigned rule that we must follow within a certain time each day to avoid death. Little did we know, we would begin driving to insanity over them. Due to the rules for each person being so harsh, some of them ended up conspiring to stop Monocro and attack him tomorrow. One of which was our victim and killer. Our killer remained on the side that didn't want to commit to violence, including our victim of this case. The next was Dimentio. You see, he didn't want to stop Monocro like the others. He wanted to stop him and take his crystal, to be able to gain ultimate power, as we believe. Our killer realized this and was feeling like it was about time to stop him. And with Dimentio's rule, not letting him sleep a bit, it was perfect time to try and kill him. One person part of the raid was Dingodile. He was in charge of delivering weapons to each of the dorms to help attack Monocro. Little did Dingodile know that the weapons he delivered to the culprit were exactly what would become the murder weapon. With a little bit of finicking with the tools that were applied, some string, a stick, and a very sharp rock, he was able to make a makeshift spear, one that they would use as the murder weapon, and kill Dimentio. But we aren't done with Dingodile yet. There was a specific tool he used to give everyone the weapons in their dorms, a wheelbarrow, one that he could carry everything in. Eventually, Dingodile had finished using the wheelbarrow and had put it back in the tool shed. But only an hour later, our killer had arrived, and they had taken the wheelbarrow for themselves, along with it, a voice recorder. This was one of the important methods of luring Dimentio towards them, and they would use it to be able to bring them to their murder place. Culprit brought the wheelbarrow and put it under the balcony. The reason they did this was so that they could have an escape route later on. In order to ensure it, and it wouldn't fail, they also removed the wheels from it to keep it in place. At this time, Dimentio had sat around. Unable to fall asleep due to his rule, he was wandering around the school, thinking of something to do. The culprit was one step ahead of them. They knew they wanted Monocro and get their abilities, so they planned ahead and knew of a way to lure Dimentio to them. Culprit knew of a sensor, one that was not far from the location, and one that was used to alert when Monocro arrived. Culprit approached the sensor and triggered it, causing an alarm to go off. This was the first step of alerting Dimentio, who was well aware and beginning to put on a cat and mouse chase against the culprit. When Dimentio had made it to where the alarm was going off, the culprit then used their next special ability to continue luring Dimentio. Shadow puppets. They had shaped their hands in a way to look like Monocro, and they left quickly after doing so. Dimentio had spotted this. This was the second part of the cat and mouse chase. Finally, the culprit rushed outside the balcony and placed down the voice recorder, turning it on so Monocro's voice would play. While we don't know exactly how the culprit got Monocro's voice at the time he did, we can make quite a few assumptions. While searching for Monocro, Dimentio heard Monocro's voice through the voice recorder and heard it in the balcony, and he thought he had the bird cornered. Dimentio rushed out and used his magic to shoot a ball of magic, one that rushed forward and broke apart the railing. The magic was so strong, it broke apart most of the railing, causing many holes to be part of it. But then they saw the voice recorder, And that was when it happened. The culprit rushed out and lifted their blade, and with a quick swing, Dimentio had perished. The culprit was successful in killing Dimentio, but the plan was not finished yet. They took Dimentio's body and pushed it onto the guardrail. Not only did this help cover up the cause of death, but because they were stabbed with a thin object, having them covered through the beam caused that thin puncture through their body to become bigger, making them think they died on the railing. As escaping, the culprit left behind a specific piece of evidence, one that helped lead us to the culprit. Then would jump down and land in the wheelbarrow. Their body was able to sustain the wheelbarrow's landing due to their shape, and was able to escape willingly. The culprit then had to disperse of the real murder weapon, the one that was used to fabricate the crime. They left the pile of objects used to make it out in the open, in a way behind the buildings where no one would hopefully find it. But Dimentio, with the last of his breath, did something that nobody would expect. His hands are controlled by mental magic, ones that couldn't be controlled normally, as they are not connected to his body. He took one of his hands and pushed it down to the ground where everyone would see it, and pushed it into a point. Where did this hand point? It pointed to where the culprit had hidden the weapon. The reason Dimentio did this was to not only show where the weapon was hidden, but because the weapon was such a specific object, it helped give away who exactly the culprit was. And after that, Dimentio had officially perished, and his hands failed connection. The crime scene was complete.
The only person who could perform such an intricate case. Waddle Dee, the ultimate survivalist. It was you who killed Dimentio. Why did you lie about everything?
And that is that. It was you, wasn't it? No. I can't believe this. Waddle Dee, you killed him?
I think you fucked him in the head.
He's not saying anything. I think he's broken. You must have heard him. Whatever you said.
Well, that just proves even more it's him.
I don't think there's anything else we can do. We've proven our killer. That just leaves the voting.
Ah, there it is. Well. Is it time for that already?
Yes, it is, Monocro. We figured it out. We're ready to vote.
Wonderful. Now everyone, go on your Monocro tablets and pick who you believe is the culprit. And I shall calculate the votes and show who it is.
No, you can't. I'm sorry, Waddle Dee. But it's you and I can't forgive you.
No. Let's see who the most votes will be. Who is it going to be? I cannot wait. The votes have been cast. All votes have gone to Waddle Dee, and you are correct. Waddle Dee is the one who murdered Dimentio. Congratulations. Everyone has survived the first-class trial. Well, would've. Except for him, of course.
Wow, this was so exciting. I never had such a rush in solving a murder. So many answers at the same time. It was perfect. No, you can't. It's not.
It really was you. Waddle Dee, why?
You lied to us.
Was all that care for nothing? I thought you were gonna help us.
All you cared about was getting your ass out of here? I can't believe you.
Oi, he was tricking us all along. You've made Masky very upset. I feel the same way. I cannot believe this. Why would you do such a thing? Waddle Dee, I can't believe it. You went this far, just for your escape? I can't believe this. I was forced to.
What? What did...
Are you all so fucking stupid? Is escape really the only reason you have for me just trying to kill? Wow. I knew you all were stupid ultimates, but I didn't mean it this much.
What the...
What are you saying? There's no point now. I'm going to die. I'll just say it while I can. I did kill Dimentio. I had it all prepared after that night. I had a reason to kill him. He came to me, and he told me something that I couldn't let slide. He would tell everyone. He said it himself. I had to meet him. He offered to meet me. So I would fulfill his wish. I met him that night, and I killed him.
No, you were tricking us this whole time. I can't believe you.
You're absurd. I can't blame you.
What did he mean, spoil? He would say something? What do you mean?
Yes, what are you implying? Oh, you wish to know? Well then. I was made to murder by Monocro.
What is that thing?
You have been chosen?
What does that mean?
Monocro was willing to give me an advantage. You see, he didn't have nothing to do with this murder. He was the biggest part in it. You see, Monocro has given me and 4 others of you a special opportunity. What?
What do you mean by that?
We are the swords. I cannot believe you're spoiling this already. I was hoping for a bit more fun with the
No, what? What are you referring to? What are the swords?
Oh, nothing. Just a couple of interesting mechanics that we came up with for this game.
Mechanics? You see, we ended up working together, as Father gave us an option to pick 5 of you and bring you to another state of, let's say, advantage in this game.
We picked 5 of you out individually in hopes that you would be able to help us further the game.
And it seems to have worked. Monoram's chosen pick, which was Waddle Dee, seems to have done nicely.
So, wait, there's more of you? Of course. There were 5, but it seems Waddle Dee has unfortunately, is about to be punished, now that he's been convicted of killing Dimentio.
As a sword, he also gets an advantage in murder. He came to me telling me to voice record myself on that recorder, so I pretended to say the motive all over again, for his entertainment.
Yo.
Oi, but if you were giving him an advantage, why would you kill?
What exactly are the swords?
I can't tell you. Let's just say we now know what this game truly is.
And Dimentio was a threat to that.
What do you mean he was a threat?
Fine. I'll tell you what really happened that night. You won't believe it.
And I promise you this next motive will be spectacular. Everyone will be greatly influenced by its intense magic. We shall see what lives break and fall from it. Although, I wish everyone good luck.
Don't move. You came to meet me, as I thought. But I did not believe that you would come to kill me too. Dimentio, you know why I have to do this, don't you? Yes, I'm well aware. You were chosen after all. Killing me is part of your survival in this game. I wish it wasn't true, but it seems that you've cornered me and I have no choice but to submit. You do have one. You can fight back. What you just did there, well, you destroyed more than I thought. I'm glad I wasn't in the way, but now, unfortunately, I have to do this. I understand. You may not believe it, but I saw this coming. You did? You see, Waddle Dee, I invited you up here to answer your question. But the question you want to ask me won't be so peaceful as you may think. Tell me, we need to know an escape. My only escape from this is by killing you. Do you think he'll really go through with it? Do you really think he'll go through with it if you win? You see, Waddle Dee, you killing me won't solve anything. you shall only suffer more. Please, I want out. I can't let anyone risk dying again. I'm not gonna lose myself. This is my opportunity for escape and I'm taking it. True colors being shown. I can't be surprised. This was destined to happen. What do you mean? You're not the one supposed to save us, Monocro. You're not the one to save us, Waddle Dee. You aren't destined for it. The others here are, particularly the one in the red hair. You see, you're following up like you're the main star of the show. You aren't. If you stay in the game and remain down this path, you shall only cause more problems. Nobody will escape in the end. Your only way of fateful escape is if you kill me and give yourself to the red-haired girl.
Why? How do you know any of this? Are you like some fortune teller?
I predict the future. No matter what you do here, I shall die. But I'm not so afraid of it. I'm prepared for death. You may kill me now. I've never awaited something so fascinating my whole life.
What are you saying? That I won't escape by doing this? I've prepared a good murder. No one will figure it out. I'm getting out of here.
Really? If I were the one here, I doubt you would have made one as good as me. I would make sure no one found your corpse. I would have never thought death felt so relieving. Your fate has been sealed, friend. Shh. Goodbye, my friend.
Knew what I was and what I was doing. I couldn't let that slide. I had to lie. And I had to do all this to fake it.
No, I can't believe this. You traitor.
So you've been working with them the whole time, and you killed Dimentio because he got too close to the truth?
He knows all of us. Everyone's. I didn't want to stay in anymore. I had to get out. And that's what I was hoping to do by killing Dimentio. He offered himself up to me and I took his chance. But now thinking about what he said I was fated to die. I had no escape even by doing this. Did it really matter? I guess I was gonna die either way. But I am.
How did you not take his warning and just not kill him?
I'm no such psychopath. I may have killed that son of a bitch, but I'll tell you one thing. That doesn't mean I didn't want out of here. He told me that the only way out was through one of you guys. I may not know who that is, but it wasn't me. I was hoping I'd be able to share that burden if I did this and figure out who it was, but no. I guess he was lying. Me killing him hasn't changed the course of this killing game. He only wanted me to kill him.
I can't believe this.
It was fated to a lie. It was destined.
How dramatic. But don't worry, I'm gonna end up having to do something to you before you accidentally spoil who you and the other four might be. I believe it's now time for the execution.
The execution? No, you're killing him?
Of course, it was part of the class trial, and he has lost. Unfortunately, it's time for him to go.
Whatever. The other four will do much better than you could have. I know all of them. And I promise you this. We'll find a way out of this killing game. I may be unsuccessful, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna fight. The last thing I want is to die here.
You won't get a choice. Are my children ready?
Ready as ever for the execution, Father.
Perfect. Now then, Waddle Dee, the ultimate survivalist, has been found guilty. It is now time for his punishment.
Waddle Dee, You... No!
I guess it must be now. Farewell, everyone. And just so everyone is aware, I don't have any regrets. I wish everyone now that will be subject to this killing game an unfortunate good luck.
No. Waddle Dee. That...
That was more exciting than I could have imagined. Although, that was...
No. Father, he killed Ram. Didn't you...
I'm well aware of what he just did. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done. That Waddle Dee may have killed my son, but that doesn't mean I can't make another. Are you seriously allowing this? You just let one of us die? Don't worry, I'll make another. Trust me, I'll find a way. Well, everyone, I suppose the trial is over. I guess that we can finally end what was a interesting debacle. I'll see you at 19 tomorrow. I'll see you 16 tomorrow.
I can't believe this. I just watched him die. Masky? Masky!
Well, someone's upset.
No.
This is fucking insane. Is he really dead? I can't believe you killed him as such an undignified man.
Oi, was that really necessary?
You could have just given him an easy death. Just cut him on the neck or something.
But no. But have him be crushed like that? That was absurd. I can't believe you smushed him into bits. And the arrows. Oh god, the arrows.
Let's just get out of here. I want no more of this.
Yeah, pretty much same. Waddle Dee, I can't believe he...
I knew something was up with him. This whole thing. Killing Dimentio, he always wanted.
But the swords. You just heard what he said. Is there really some of us lying? I can't be here. I need to leave.
Madeline, look.
I need to leave! Waddle Dee lied about everything. He wasn't really caring for me. He just wanted to kill. He never cared for any of us. That fucking...
I'm really stuck in here, aren't I? Oh, sweet dearie. Why so sad? What the... No. Why are you here? What's in the... Where did you come from? Why are you here? Get out! Get out! Sweetie, that's no way to be talking to you yourself. You're hurting you. Don't you see that? No. You should take a break and realize what's really going on. Madeline, I missed you.